Good morning. Welcome to the another session on compassionate marketing. Yesterday we discussed about in the previous video we discussed about compassionate marketing in brief. Why compassionate marketing and what the company needs to do, uh, and how they can implement the compassionate marketing. Today we see in detail in this video about the different triggers of compassionate marketing and the enablers. So we will see these triggers and enablers in separate videos. So this video talk about the triggers of compassionate video. So what do you mean by trigger? So what leads to the consumers to look for a specific product and services, and why they get distrust among the companies, as well as why they disconnect from the companies. So what are those trigger points which uh, influence or force the consumers to get into those act? See, the number one, the aspect which trigger the consumer is the competition. So the competition is ever present in today's business. So we all agree to that. And all the companies spend billions to tackle ever mounting competition to attract consumers. So competition is a way of life for every company, and each company they want to be the number one. So that is why they involve in so much of competition. So it is very imperative to understand that each company focuses to identify, target and reach the set of consumers which it believes would buy its product and services. So this is a general belief of all the companies. They will focus on the specific set of consumers and try to sell the product and service. It is a practice from all the companies present in such industry, that is producing, generating or selling similar products and services. And the competition varies depends on the nature of the industry. So we all know that. So the competition differs from industry to industry because the different industry has a different the aspects in terms of the product or service they are dealing with, the value of the product and service, the longevity of them, the shelf life. So that is where the competition varies from industry to industry. So we cannot generalize the competition is same in all the industry. So it is different. So each consumer is focused by numerous companies, thus creating a constant pressure on consumers to buy the product and services. So you see, when the company is trying to identify the consumer, target consumer, it is not the only company looking for the particular target consumer. So there are many companies in that particular industry is looking for the same consumer. So thus the particular aspect creates a lot of pressure on consumers. In order to attract the target consumers, the company creates and offer the high decibel price offers and sales promotion, thus blocking other competing companies to reach their consumers. However, the other competing companies will use different conventional and non-conventional promotional communications to reach the target consumers. Such exercise from all these companies create a constant noise and confusion in the minds of consumers to select the best products and services which they believe provide value. So most of the consumers end up selecting the wrong products and services, thus developing an aversion towards a company sold such products and services in particular, and all the companies accept such practices. So this kind of exercise will make consumer develop an aversion towards the companies which use such practices of putting pressure on consumers to buy product and services. Over a period of time, consumers would slowly lose the confidence among all the companies, thus disconnecting from buying involvement process, which is very important. See, if the company is trying to sell it to consumers, they need to involve the consumers in the particular process, the buying involvement. So we should not confuse the consumer by creating so much of advertisements or promotions or price offers to influence the consumers to buy. So the consumer should actively involved in that particular process, and they should buy the product and service which they find value. So that is where they will become a referrals or brand ambassadors, and they will talk about the the company, the product and services. So which is a very important thing for the company's reputation and long-term benefits. Such disconnection would block the consumer's perception towards even genuine and valuable product services offered in the market. So in order to avoid such disconnection from the consumers, the companies need to compassionate in understanding the requirements of consumers, create and offer the products they believe they would get the value. So today we saw the different the trigger points which influence consumers to get into that particular act. So if we go back and see those trigger points in terms of like chronological order, it starts with the competition. So because of competition, the companies are getting into this act of forcing the consumers to buy, and that leads to offering the offers, the conventional, non-conventional offers, price promotion, which creates a lot of noise and confusion in the minds of consumers, thus leading to the wrong selection of product or services, which like they after the purchase they feel that they will not get any value out of it. So because of such, like the wrong purchase or very disappointed the the event, they lose the confidence on the company from which they bought the product. And in general, if that particular activities keep on happening and if they experience the same thing from other companies, so they will disconnect from all the companies, and they will not involve in any buying process, and they will buy the product and services, but they will not talk about it because in their mind they have that inherent distrust that whatever the product and service they buy, it will not be valued to them. So why do they talk about it? Why do they promote this product and services among their friends, relatives? So the concept of loyalty and referrals will not work there. In the long run, this will create a kind of a negative image in the minds of consumers. So this is the primary trigger points which force consumers. So because of these aspects, the company needs to be compassionate towards the consumers, uh, and they have to focus on practicing some compassionate marketing practices to attract consumers and try to sell the products or services which they feel and find value for that. So the particular aspect we will discuss in our next video. So thanks for watching this, the part one of compassionate marketing video, which talks about the triggers which are leading to the company to use the compassionate practices.